Welcome to another school project of history. Today, we'll be looking at the southern portion of the United States after Reconstruction. Let's get into it! In the final years of the Civil War and in the Reconstruction era that followed soon after, Congress repeatedly debated the rights of the millions of black freed men. Eventually, they settled on the 15th Amendment, which made it so that anybody could vote regardless of race. Except for women. But obviously, knowing 1800 Southern leaders, they were not gonna let that
Sir,
slide.
I'd like to vote, please.
You can't vote here.
Why?
I'm not gonna say it.
Why can't I vote? I know my rights.
I'm not gonna say it.
Why?
Because you're... I hate the 15th Amendment. I hate those gosh darn Yankees. How can I get around this?
To get around the 15th Amendment, Southern leaders implemented a number of ways to reject the blacks.
Racist!
Wikipedia said it, not me! Firstly, Southern leaders implemented a poll tax, which required voters to pay before voting. Since many blacks didn't have the funds to pay, many of them were denied their say.
Cash or credit?
What? I'm here to vote.
That rhymed. Furthermore, many southern states introduced a literacy test, making it so that in order to vote, you had to read and explain very difficult parts of the Constitution. This meant that uneducated African Americans were not able to vote. But in order to prevent poor, uneducated white people from not voting, they made it so that if your father or grandfather voted, they would be able to vote. As you can tell, people got very angry. So eventually, some guys took it to the Supreme Court, saying that the way the 15th Amendment was being executed was very discriminatory. So then everybody on the Supreme Court agreed, and they was like, you know what, let's sign! 9-0, unanimous decision. They said that the way the 15th Amendment was being carried out was, very fair. It wasn't.
Your Honor, I have no idea what he's talking about. He's just trying to scam me for the insurance money. I just wanted to vote. You know what? I think I need to talk to my lawyer.
Hey, I'd like to return this blender. Sir, that is not in its original packaging.
Later on, during the 1800s, segregation was all over the place, which separated colored people and white people. Oh my gosh, man, I have to take the most ginormous whiz. I've been holding it in for like 3 days.
What are you doing in here? What are you doing in this bathroom?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Why are you there?
You need to leave.
Were you waiting for me? The laws that separated colored people and white people were called Jim Crow laws, under the basis that both parties would be separate but equal. And knowing 1800s Americans, it was not equal.
Who even is Jim Crow?
Actually, Jim Crow is a highly exaggerated stereotypical black person in order to make fun of...
Shut up! To get this type of information, we ask the townspeople. Hey, get over here! What do you think about segregation?
Am I being recorded?
Yes! What do you think?
Segregation was the...
Feeling good.
worst thing to happen to this country.
Correct! See?
Formerly enslaved people who just started to leave the South named themselves exodusters. Side note, that name goes stupendously, outrageously, courageously, bodaciously, wholeheartedly, audaciously hard. And some exodusters decided to join the military and were nicknamed Buffalo Soldiers. Second side note, hard! To conclude, Reconstruction was a valiant effort to try to gain some greater equality between blacks and whites, but it didn't really work out too well. So to end it off, let's get a message from our great friend, Ray Seist.
Did somebody say my name? Nah. Because I get to say a few words, let me just say, segregation as a whole was...